Hey guys, welcome back to the latest episode of Genesis Theory with Kush Desai. And for today's episode, we have a really amazing guest. He's a really driven entrepreneur. He has started multiple businesses. He's a self taught UI UX designer. He's a self taught programmer. He's just extremely driven. Uh, he's currently working on building his own gaming startup. And he just recently launched a short video app called Alt, which is trying to capture the market left behind by TikTok. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show for the first time, Sunny Malhi. Sunny, I actually came across your profile on Startuppedia. They had done a post about you,
Yeah.
and that got me interested, curious about what you were doing with Alt. Now, I'm not exactly sure how many other ventures you're working on. It seems like
Yeah.
you have quite a few things going on, except for Alt as well. So we'll get to that. So,
Mhm.
just to start off, is Alt your first ever venture?
No.
Okay.
No. Well, you know what? Alt is with Alt is a funny story. What happened is that I personally never wanted to work on something like Alt.
Okay.
I'm I have other products, other apps that I've been working on. So, but I have a team. It's not a big team. We're just three of us, right? And when we started working on at the moment of need, when TikTok got banned and
Yeah.
all the
Yeah.
app got banned, right? So other two people, they were so much focused on this. They're like, they want to do something, they want to try out something, right?
Similar
So
to TikTok.
yeah, like, yeah,
Okay.
well, yeah. So I personally, I'm a designer. I'm a UI, UX, and iOS Swift,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I have a very less knowledge about Java and Android.
Okay.
I'm not like too. I'll probably say about 20% knowledge of Android. So, but these two, they started, and then we just they started working on it, and they're like, you know what? Let's just try and let's see how it goes. Give it a shot, right?
Yeah.
And then I was working on other projects, and then we put everything on hold, and then we started working on this, right? And they're like, if make some design and everything. I was like, fine. And then we hired another Android guy, because these two, they're also like in iOS and the back
Okay.
end, right?
Okay.
So we didn't technically hire him full time. It was just like a contract part time kind of thing. So we're like, okay, you know what, this is what we need. And then the time limit and everything. So this guy, he started working on it. And then you know and then when all the other competitors apps came in, kicked in, they started doing good. And then I had a very less role in this alt. and
Okay.
then and then but then we were all like working on it, but I had very less role because I was focused on other projects that
Yeah.
I
Other
worked on,
projects. Yeah.
right? Because
Yeah.
you already are so connected to the thing you started, right? And then
Yeah.
so I was like, okay, I'll give it a try. I'm not gonna put crazy amount of time on it because I'm not feeling it.
Yeah.
When you're not feeling it, there's
You
chances
lose
that
that drive. Yeah.
exactly,
Right.
there's chances that you won't be able to make it through, right?
Yeah.
So I had a very less chance. I had a very less role in it. So I was like, okay, these guys started working on it. I was like, fine. I came in, and this Android person who we talked about, and then he only worked for like a month,
Okay.
and
So
then
he
he
was a
took off.
freelancer.
Yeah. So he
Okay.
took off. He took off.
Oh.
He's like, yeah, he's like, you know what? I got a permanent job, and then so we got stuck, and then he left unbaked product to
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
And then he's like, okay, you know what? This is what how much I made, and then blah blah blah, right? So we were like we're like, what's this, right? Like, at least complete the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
So but then he took off. He found a permanent job, right? So we left with what I call is unbaked product.
Yeah.
And then these other two, they're like, you know what? Let's just get some users on it, and then let's see. Uh, let's just not do too much on it. Let's just put it out, and then if people like it, and then I mean, if people trying to pick it up, then we'll go crazy on it. We'll put more time on it, and then if it doesn't, then we already have other products lined up. We already working on something else, right?
Which
And
in
then
a way, I mean, sorry to interrupt,
yeah,
but
yeah, yeah, go.
which in a way is sort of a good move, right? Because you aren't waiting to make your product perfect. You're putting it out there and then working on making it better based on user feedback, which
Exactly,
is, I
exactly.
think, sort of becoming a new trend in tech startups.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
think especially in social media, where what happened in social media is that you don't wait.
yeah,
Just keep go out, right? Just go all out. Like you don't have to wait. You don't have to wait for anyone's approval. You don't have to
yeah,
wait for people
exactly.
to get it all hyped up, right? Just even if it's, let's say you're working on it, and then if you're feeling that it'll be a perfect product. A product can never be perfect.
Yeah,
If you think you have a vision that this is how I want it, that's the perfect. No, by the time you get there, you're gonna have something else. You're gonna have the more
exactly,
you have the
exactly.
bigger version, bigger vision, bigger version of your vision, right? And then you're gonna need more. You're gonna need
100%.
more, because
Yeah,
there's no such thing called perfect
yeah,
product, right?
product. Yeah,
Yeah, so he took off, then we left with this, we put it out and then see how it goes. And then we got about, I think, not good enough users, but and then we were like, this is, and then we're like, okay, you know what? I'm not feeling it. If I'm not feeling it, I don't want to put more time on it, right?
yeah,
And so this, and then we talked to another person who like, okay, I'll partner with you guys. He's actually an Android programmer,
yeah,
full stack programmer. So
yeah.
he's like, I'll partner up with you guys, and then I'll work on it by myself. And then so it's still there, and then he's working on it, and then but I'm just working on something else, right? So this is
Okay,
what it is.
so
I mean,
okay.
there's so much to cover. Yeah.
So when did you guys launch?
So the Numerical company is a parent company. Numerical is actually a parent company that we
Okay,
are. When we launched Numerical was, I actually wrote it down here. It's July 29th,
okay,
2020.
okay.
And so we actually, I get a lot of ideas throughout the day, right? I brainstorm a lot. I think that's what designers' job is
Yeah,
mostly, because
yeah.
you gotta get the
You
new
you
stuff,
come up with
right?
ideas, you make the
Yeah,
concept. Yeah.
exactly. So I actually get a lot of ideas. So I started brainstorming with everyone, and then we started. I had some ideas that is not there in Indian market.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? I want to focus on something that is not there, rather than following the
Mm,
trend,
yeah.
which is a sheep walk, right? Like
Yeah.
everyone's trying to do.
Yeah.
So I'm not feeling it. If I'm not feeling it, I don't think I'll be able to, do my 100% on it, right? Work
Okay.
on my full potential, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, and then he's working on all, but I'm working on two apps at the same time. One is in gaming.
Oh yeah,
It's
I read about that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a gaming app.
Yeah.
It should be done. It should be done in mid-November, max end of November, right? So
Okay.
it's almost there. And there's another app I'm working on. It's a contest. It's a contest app. So these two is my priorities at the moment.
Understood.
Um, yeah,
So from what I understand, you're a self-taught UI designer. You are a
yes,
programmer as well,
yes.
and these are some extremely valuable skills to have in this day and age.
Yeah, I freelanced for about 4 to 5 years, between four
Okay.
and five, 4 or 4.5 or 5, something like that. I think
Okay.
4.5. Yeah. So I freelanced so many other people. I worked with companies. I worked with single individuals, right? I worked with smaller, bigger. So, freelance is just a great way. I think it's a great area to be in.
Yeah,
If
to
you
improve your skills. Yeah.
Yes. If you starting, I've been getting a lot of DMs since I've been on Startup
Yeah,
Pedia,
media.
and I've been getting a lot of DM. People are asking me, how do you start? What's the first step?
Yeah.
How do you get it done? Right. So
Yeah.
I tell them that freelance is very powerful thing to do
Exactly.
for a single individual, because
Yeah.
you get to learn not from one with many other people that want to get their work done, right?
Agreed.
And then
Agreed.
yeah, some are like some want like some people just want like depth, like the core of the product. Some just want like good designs. It's a different areas where you can work on, and then you get polished like super nice.
Yeah.
And then for me,
So
I always wanted to start my own thing, right?
yeah. So
But
were you always into design and programming, or did you have sort of a different background, or and you just stumbled onto design and
uh, uh, I always been into computers since I was 9 or 10,
okay.
because we used to live a joint family when I was growing up. So my cousin brother, he's older than me, so he became a computer. He was studying a computer engineering back then. I think this is back in 2000. 2, 3, 4, something like that. So he was studying computer engineering, and then he got the first computer in our house. And then so I got very, but I used to play games on it. That's it.
Yeah.
I didn't know nothing about it, because you're a kid, all you're
Yeah.
doing is playing game,
Playing
right?
games. Yeah.
but but I remember it was a CPU. I used to unscrew the CPU, clean from inside, and then take out all the wires, put it back in. And
Wow.
my interest, I unconsciously knew nothing about it, but back on my head, it was growing. And then when I turned, I think 19 or 20, and then when the time came, what to do, right? And then I never thought that I really like playing games. I really like designing. And then I was like, what? Let's just try this. Let's just try something which I love, rather than doing a job which I'll be dead, which technically, like, I'll be just doing the task but
So you've
not
always sort of been driven towards
yeah,
running your
is
own thing, trying out
yeah,
your own, sort of being on your
yeah,
own.
I
Yeah.
always, and then I got more driven into designing part than
Yeah.
programming, because I think my brain works in a in a way that I get lots of ideas throughout the day. I
Yeah.
get crazy ideas. Like it's some stuff I write it down, it's not even there, and there's some stuff that I came up 5 years ago. Um, it's been made, and then it's been
Doing well.
yeah, it's been
Yeah.
acquired, or it's been grown into a very big product or company. And so I was a very I wasn't sure, so I actually went to meet one of the guy. He had I think he had a software company back
Okay.
5 years ago. So before starting anything, so I was like, what? Tell me everything. Like, this is how this works. What to do? This is I keep getting this stuff. So I keep getting my ideas, and then I write it down. He talked to me about 20 minutes, and then he said, what? I charge people to talk to me. So I was very like, I don't know what to say. Was I insulted, or was I like in a wrong place?
Yeah.
I don't know. I wasn't sure, right? So I was like, okay, so this is how tech works. I mean, you go get advice from person who's already there, who's doing stuff, right?
A
And
consultant.
then
Yeah.
yeah, they want to charge money about it. So I went home, and then I forgot about it for some time. I think some months, not too much, and then I didn't know. But then I was still attracted to it
Yeah.
to
So,
find out more. Yeah. So then
so
I started Googling, and then I started learning everything. So it went on from there.
that's interesting. So, I mean,
Yeah.
since you aren't sort of focusing a lot on alt, I'm going to ask you
Yeah.
this one last question, and then we'll move on to your gaming startup.
Yeah. Okay.
Uh, with so many short video apps already in the market, uh, it must be challenging to build a user base, right? Or not
Yeah.
really? How did you guys go about marketing alt?
Um, it depends. It depends. Social media is so big.
Okay.
So if you're focusing on social, just social media, it's such a huge, massive. It's massive, right? It's large. That if your product is okay, it can do good things,
Yeah.
right? And then because social media is so big, people just want the change. People want good things. People want the change. It depends how you bring the change. It depends what things what things you're fixing or what things you're changing when you're interacting. People love to interact. People love to show their I feel when we were working on this alt, I figured out one thing, where in this today's time, the new generation, Gen Z, that coming out, so they are very bold. they're not they're not they're not a hidden generation, right?
Yeah.
They want to put themselves out. They whether it be dancing or doing singing, or doing anything like doing stunts backyard, or doing anything with a bicycle or anything, right? They're very bold. They want to put themselves out, and they're not scared to try new things. We're millennials like me, so we're like so stuck up in like, okay, if you use a product, you just
You'll stick to it.
not like to, yeah. But then Gen Z is so bold because we were focusing on Gen Z, right? And then so I think it's you can, and then your product can do good stuff. Your product can do wonders if it's put it in the right areas, if you give them a good way to go,
Yeah.
rather than just putting a product out, let it be, whoever takes it, whoever doesn't know. That's not how it works. You need to figure out your audience first
Understood.
before launching the product, right? What's the audience like, what
Yeah.
they like, how bold are they, right?
So, moving on to your gaming app, what's it called? How did you get the idea to make your gaming app?
uh yeah, so I love to play games.
Okay.
So at the moment I'm playing Call of Duty Mobile.
Okay.
So I've been playing this. So um, I figured that the gaming the gaming
But
area
was the
hasn't been.
was the booming esports industry sort of a factor in, pushing you
No,
towards starting?
it's not something that what esport like Dream 11 and all these guys are doing.
Yeah.
It's not something like that. It's like focused on 100% with just a gaming
Okay.
community. So like either you playing online games, right? It's not something that cricket or like physical games, right? It's not like that. It's just you're gaming on like playing online games or
Okay.
PUBG or whatever, right? So I figured that when I was searching, when I got this idea, I started research on it, and then I figured that the gaming industry in India hasn't been um, improved or hasn't been worked out too much. It's
Yeah.
only very less, or maybe you can say no product out there which is very well doing in this area. So I
Okay.
was like, you know what, why not work on something that's been missing in the market, and that can connect um, like the new generation that's so much driven into by this gaming, right? And
Yeah.
then get them a product where they can interact very easy, fun and a good way where it's just fun. It's just fun, nothing else. We're not providing a platform where things could go wrong.
Okay.
It's a platform where
So it's
young,
free to play
it's free to play. It's
on
free to
the,
play.
I'm
It's free.
assuming ad revenue.
Uh, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's
And
free.
is it like, have you been developing the entire sort of platform by yourself, or did you hire a team? And if you hired a team, how did you sort of go about that process?
Yeah, yeah. So this is just all by me.
Oh wow,
Yeah, yeah. So I
that's a lot of
designed.
work.
It is a lot of work. It's crazy. I mean, uh,
The
you get lost.
designing, the
Yeah,
programming.
it's
I mean,
crazy, but I'm
hats off.
loving it.
Hats
Wait,
off.
it's, but I'm loving it. It's crazy because I think when you love something,
Yeah,
it don't
it
feel like
becomes fun. Yeah, it becomes fun. Yeah,
it don't
exactly.
feel like working. It
Yeah,
don't feel like you get exhausted, but you don't get tired.
yeah,
You get exhausted sitting on computer like for like good 10 hours or 12 hours, right? But
exactly.
you don't, yeah, but you don't get tired. I don't get tired. I come back again and start working on it, right? Yeah, so that I think by end of November I'll be able to fully launch it.
Okay.
uh,
And
it'll
this
be
will be
really,
Android and iOS, right?
it's gonna be on Android at the
Okay.
moment.
Okay.
So what happened is iOS, I actually I was thinking to bring it in later on, like starting off next year.
Actually,
Um,
Android does make sense because if you think about it, and this is a fun fact for our users if they don't know,
yeah,
our viewers, my bad.
yeah,
Android owns about 90+% of the market share in India,
exactly,
which makes sense if you're launching your own startup or platform
yeah,
to start off
yeah,
on Android and penetrate that market.
yeah.
Yeah.
So this app, since I don't have much knowledge in Android, I've been working everything by my own. But I got one my friend. He's just helping me out.
Okay.
He's
So
not
it's two of
technically
you.
he's not technically working on it. He's not that, we're not doing, that I work 8 hours or he works 8 hours. It's not something like that. It's just that I'm also learning and building at the same time.
Okay.
So when I get stuck, he helped me out. I send him the stuff that needs to be done, and then
Yeah. Yeah.
if I need help, and then he comes help me out. But it's not something that I hired someone, like you asked if there's a
Okay.
team I hired. No, it's not. It's
So
just me.
it's
It's just
all
my
you,
friend.
but
Yeah,
you're taking
he's
help from.
exactly. That's about it.
And do you plan on hiring someone or not yet?
I I I I actually wants to, but
I mean,
when
even if not on the technical side, then what about marketing? Do you have any sort of plans? If you want to
for
share,
like
of course.
hiring,
No,
are
no,
you talking?
like
Okay.
your plans for marketing your app, which you'll be launching.
Yeah. So marketing, I was thinking about like how I'm gonna market, right? So I was
Yeah.
thinking about like, so marketing. I'm still working on the marketing part, but
Okay.
since you asked, I can just put out like a couple of points there, which is marketing. I was thinking about like people who have gaming channels, approach to them and then see and then put the product out to them and then see how they like it, and
Okay.
then if they like it, and then I'll pay them and then see them if they can advertise about it, right? And then get it out there. So I was thinking
Okay.
about like getting some uh, already developed gamers
Yeah.
who have good channels, like say either it be YouTube or Instagram.
Instagram. Yeah.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
or
Yeah.
yeah. So I approach to them and then see if put the product out, give it to them, and then see if they like it, and then see if they can, if they want to advertise it. Then
Even in gamings, I've heard even sort of game reviews or like gameplay, and the player is just commentating while playing. Those things also help out.
yeah,
So
yeah,
maybe just an idea from my end,
yeah. No,
but
no, no.
ultimately,
Anything works.
yeah,
Yes, yes. I'm open to everything. I'm open to everything, anything.
yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, I mean, feel free to reach out. I'd be, happy to sort of give you my ideas as well. So
Yeah.
don't
Sure.
don't sort of think of it as I'm taking your interview, and then if you
Yeah.
reach out to
No.
me, I'll be
I
like, no,
actually,
I don't know you.
yeah. I actually
But yeah,
like how, yeah. I actually like how people like you, like, they're out there, they want to like see other people's stories, and then if it could become a resource for people like me, and then it'd be a great help. Because
thanks a lot. So the
yeah,
idea behind this was actually to, I mean, people want to start, but like you said, people have been DMing you that how do I start? How do I take
yeah,
that first step? So
yeah,
this channel, this podcast is basically for that to, show people that before you look at, oh, I want to have my own $1 billion startup,
yeah,
or I want to become a professional sports person, or
yeah,
I want to have this job and become a CEO. Before you
yeah,
do those things, you listen to people's stories who have just started off and what they're doing. So that makes
exactly.
sense.
Exactly. I think you can. I think you learn if, for example, you're doing this, and then it's a very good way to reach out.
Yeah,
I think you get to learn from the people more who just started from
yeah,
scratch
yeah,
than people who had already developed. Because the
yeah.
people who have developed, they can only tell you. I think they, when you have worked for 10 years.
The feedback becomes less relevant because you aren't at that stage in life. You haven't reached there.
Exactly. They forget how what felt
What
like 10 years
exactly
ago.
they did. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
exactly.
when you actually reach out to someone uh, who just starting from
Yeah,
scratch, you get to learn from inside out. You get to know
exactly,
from inside out what things goes around,
exactly.
what is right, what is wrong, right? You get
Yeah,
to know
yeah,
more. Yeah. And I also want to put one thing out there, because like I've been getting a lot of DM about this. People like asking how to start and how to do this. I just want to put a one point out, because people don't understand. Like everyone started messaging me when I was on the startup pedia. They're saying how to start and how. So I actually reply back, because I don't want to be like, I want to see if
yeah.
my advice can help someone. Why not, right? So I
We'll
actually
actually
reply
be
back.
coming to that as well. But
Is that
you can give it away right now.
yeah. So if I mean I- if I know something, I can put it out, and then if I can share it with anyone, and if it can change someone's life, it's
Yeah,
good, right? So I actually replied to a couple of people, and then I actually replied to more people, but a couple of people that I got into depth talking, and then they said they want to they want to do certain things, right? This, and then I replied, focus on something you really like, or you really love. He's like, and then the person's like, okay, I want to make so much money. I want to make like 100 crores. I want to make my 200 crores. So this is a thinking what everyone needs to learn, that you don't focus on money. You
yeah,
first focus on
exactly.
what you like, what you
Yeah,
love.
yeah,
If you love programming, or if you love designing stuff, you will be successful eventually.
you just need to
If
put
that,
in the work.
yeah, yeah,
Take that
because
first
you
step, take the second
exactly.
step, keep putting in the work every day.
Exactly. But if you start thinking about money, then there are less chances you can make it through,
Yeah,
because your money is getting into the way of
yeah,
you reaching to that goal every day that you want to work. And then
exactly.
you're gonna give up very easily if you just focus on money. Because
Yeah,
what happened is, you're not driven by passion, you're driven by uh, a money, or
materialistic gains. Yeah,
yeah, like, so your passion is not there.
exactly.
It's just the thing that you want to get it done, and you want to earn a lot
I
of
mean,
money.
just in my case, right? I've tried my hand at programming. I know a bit of Python. I know a bit of
Yeah,
Java, but not much.
yeah,
So I mean, the reason I started off, learning programming was simply because I knew it was a big deal, and if I can have my own tech startup, then I'd be able to make a lot of money. So that was the motivation.
yeah,
But that that sort of initial drive I had to get into programming, it just ran out in like a month or two because I got bored super easily because I can't program. I'm not, sort of mentally programmed to get into coding, to write
Okay.
scripts. I can have
Okay.
someone else do it for me, but I needed to understand that sort of dynamism. I needed to accept that fact, and
Right.
things have been better. So in my case, I have my own fantasy football startup.
Yeah,
And
I actually looked into it. Yeah.
yeah, so in my case, I'm passionate about football, and now I'm doing what I love. So I
Right.
mean, every day is, I mean, of course, challenges come up and you have to deal with them, but
Yeah,
it's fun because you don't get bored, you don't get annoyed, you want to find a solution. So
exactly. Yeah.
that's, yeah.
How's your startup going? How's
Oh,
uh
we're doing quite well actually. I just started, looking for funding recently, so been busy with investors, but yeah, we're doing well.
how long
We've
when did
we
you
launched May this year, May
okay
2020.
okay
Yeah.
okay
So
that's
yeah.
good. That's
So coming back to what you were saying, what have been some of the what have been your three biggest failures uh, in terms of learning experience that you'd like to
okay.
share?
Not the products, right? Okay.
No, three biggest failures in terms of just what you learned out of those failures.
Okay, yeah. The first I think is that never ever follow the trend.
Okay.
Never ever follow the trend. If you're not feeling it, do not follow it, right? Um, that's the first one. That if everyone else doing it, if even if it's the money is there, let's say the uh, area is $1 billion revenue a year, and then uh, everyone started doing it. Don't do it if you don't feel it. So because don't follow that trend. Don't do the sheep walk, right? Sorry. It's not gonna work out. And then that's the first thing I learned personally, right? And then the second would be that do not wait. Do not wait till you do not wait if your product is complete or not. Just get the working product.
Prototype out there. Yeah.
Yeah, just get it working and put it out. Do
Yeah.
not wait till you
To
feel
make it perfect.
it's a perfect. Yeah, because like I said, there's no such thing called perfect.
Yeah.
It's gonna be, and then it's gonna be more and more every day, right? So that's the second thing I made promise to myself. That's the second thing
Yeah.
I learned, and then I got tangled with so many months with this, learning this point. And then third would be I think third, I always say this. I don't know. I always say to myself, do not research too much.
Okay. That's interesting.
Do, yeah, do not research too much, because you get caught up in that process. That let's say, for example, let me just put it out. Let's say if you have an idea which you feel like crazy, like it's gonna work out, right? And then you start researching it and you figure out that, oh, the Google is doing it too. Google is big, Google is large, they can just eat me in like no days, right? Like I'm not gonna be successful. Those thoughts it kills your drive, right? Like it shouldn't be there. Do the research, but don't research too much. Don't research that your drive just gets
Yeah.
blown away, or with that, because what happened is when you research too much, you start overthinking it,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
overthink just kills everything, right?
That's
So
interesting. Yeah.
yeah,
I've never thought about that, but that's a
yeah
good
that's
point.
that's that's
So
the third, that's the third I also do research, but I don't go too depth in it. I don't go that, what Google is doing, what these companies are doing, what Facebook is doing. I want to do something, I'm gonna get it done, I'm gonna put it out, and I'm gonna see what the results are. I'm not gonna wait for my overthink to kill my drive or my thoughts, right? So
makes sense.
that,
And
that
what about your three highest accomplishments? What have those been?
okay, the three
Highest,
biggest
best accomplishments.
uh, okay.
I mean, they don't have to be like big. They have to be, something that affected you that you feel is big.
Yeah. I feel that I got fearless. So that's the
Okay.
biggest one. I got fearless.
Okay.
Anyone's opinion uh, don't matter to me. If it's negative, it's not gonna touch me, right? I actually build a wall towards me, which
Okay.
only positive things come in, right? It's not
Wow.
negative stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So
good. That's good.
I got very fearless. I was also a very shy person, social media shy
Okay.
person. I would never. Uh, I mean, I couldn't post a picture. You know, I was thinking about a lot of things. Like other opinions would matter to me because all this time I was thinking that the other opinions would be like what this person is, how. So I stopped thinking about that, right? So that helped really well when you're starting a business, because you gotta be fearless.
Yeah.
You gotta make promises to yourself that no matter what, you gotta get it done, and then no matter what people are saying to your sides, you gotta get it done. And then a second would be
The third one.
sorry.
You said two already. This would be the
Oh,
third
it's
one.
okay. Third,
Yeah.
okay, sure. The third would be uh, you gotta go fast. You gotta go fast.
100%.
Yeah,
100%. Which comes
yeah,
back to your point that you mentioned that you can't, be scared to put out an incomplete product or
yeah.
basically wait to make it perfect. You have to be quick and just put it out.
Exactly. You gotta go fast.
Yeah.
You can't just relax and slack
Yeah.
about your thoughts.
Exactly.
Uh, you gotta go fast. I think doing 1 hour work a day is more powerful than just thinking about it for 23 hours. So if you just you gotta go fast, you can't just don't wait for anything else. So that's
That's true.
these things I accomplished over the time, because it took me time. I was a
Definitely.
very different person 2 years ago. Just put it 2 or 3 years ago. Now I'm 2 years ago. Now I started started thinking that I want to do something on my own. This completely changed me. This completely changed me into a person that I'm fearless, I'm powerful, I'm gonna get it done, right? No matter what, eventually, one way or another, I'm gonna get it done, right? So that's my thoughts.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah,
Personally, even I've sort of changed from who I was 4 years ago, 3 years ago, 2 years ago, because I think entrepreneurship requires that bit where you
yeah,
have to stand up for yourself. So I
exactly.
think that's something I'm sure all sort of entrepreneurs who are even just starting off first year, second year would definitely agree with. So
Yeah.
who all sort of do you draw inspiration from?
Like who do I look up to?
Yeah.
Uh, I like the fact how Elon Musk is so fearless. Back
Okay.
in
That's
back in
yeah.
yeah back in 2000, I think it was 2001 or 3 when he started Tesla. A lot of people
Yeah.
don't know,
Yeah.
but Tesla got big nowadays, right? So I
Yeah.
looked into his story. I liked how he's so fearless. Like, he's not scared of anything else. So he's one of the very powerful person I look up to. And I also look up to well, there's so many. There's like bigger lists. Like, cause I
But
take
Elon
very
Musk would be the biggest one.
I take like smaller things
Bits
what
from
these people,
everyone.
and
Yeah.
then
Sure.
put it into one, and then see how these guys did it, or how they're doing it.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah. I also look up
So
to Sundar Pichai. I think he's very
yeah,
talented. He's
he
very
is. He
talented.
is. He is. He definitely
So
is.
yeah.
Definitely, Elon Musk is someone I admire as well. I've read his book actually, the
Okay.
Elon Musk story, in which, like you said, Tesla started way before than what most people think.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that just shows that he wasn't afraid of starting something that was going to be sort of viewed as
Exactly.
relevant far into the future. So
Exactly.
that's really
I mean how a person could start something where uh, the time he went clearly against the time, because back
yeah,
in 2001, early 2000, no one was even thinking about it or talking about like electric cars, EV
yeah,
cars, right?
yeah,
There's no such thing. What was no
definitely,
one's gonna buy, no one's gonna buy it, right? It's not a thing. It's not a
yeah.
thing. but he kept on working. He knew that his work needs to be done now to get paid later on. So he kept going. I feel that he's a very visionary person, right?
Yes,
And
yes.
yeah.
So what sort of an impact would you want to have through your journey?
On me, or
No,
like
on yourself or people around you both. What do you want?
uh,
Yeah. What do you want to give away? What do you want people to take away? What sort of impact do you want to have?
I personally work with. I don't work with a lot of goals. I mean, according to my mental state, it's very limited stuff that goes in my mental state, which is like I'm gonna work, that's it, and then I'm gonna work faster and then harder than everyone else. If there's something needs to be done, I want to get there first. uh, and then if I'm not first, then I'm gonna make sure that I'm gonna make this product so good that if I'm coming late, I'm gonna make it so good that it's gonna make a good impact, that people's gonna look into it. So I actually these are only things that goes in my mental state of working when I work, because I don't see that I need to overthink a lot, or I need to take the failure to my mind. Failure stays in your body is okay, because you can
Yeah.
learn so much from it. Failure is a very good teacher that you can learn from. But failure does not, it should not go to your head, right?
Yeah.
Once it goes to your head, then it does the bad impact on your body or mental state and everything else. So I think, work hard and work faster, and then forget about working smart. It's okay. You don't need to be smarter than anyone else. You just need to work hard and faster,
Yeah.
I feel. Yeah.
That's interesting. So, that brings us to the end of the interview. Thank you
All
so
right.
much for, taking the
All,
time out,
thank you
and
for having me.
yeah,
Thank
and
you.
it was a pleasure. I'll share the sort of like complete video with you when we're done.
Okay.
Uh, anyway, take care, man. Best of luck
Thank,
for
thank
your
you so
gaming
much.
venture.
Thank you. Good luck.
Cheers. Cheers. Bye.